All of the iBuyers, the big ones, the big names, Zillow Offers, Open Door, and Redfin have pressed the pause button on buying properties through the instant offer iBuying system. This is Byron and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 113 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
We're not in the studio, clearly. We're not at 66 High Street like we were last week. I'm sitting in my closet. I don't think The Real Word has ever seen my closet.
I don't think many people have seen your closet.
Not too many people care, but
I don't think people care.
it is a little hokey.
No one's seen my office either, so it's like we're all even.
It's nice. You know, you've got a nice little backdrop. I'm in the closet. I don't think they'd let me on like CNN or Fox News if I'm appearing in my closet. You know.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Have you seen who's that guy that does the Late Show?
No, it's interesting. The daily shows or whatever they are, the nighttime shows that are now switching to doing this. Like everybody's on the same playing field right now, level playing field for everybody.
Hair down their necks.
Yeah. What's his name? Jimmy Fallon? Is that his name? Jimmy Fallon?
Thank you. Yes.
He was awful without having the high production, without having his show all scripted out for him and him having to just wing this stuff on his front porch at his house.
Yeah.
It was unwatchable. It was terrible. He would never be this is my opinion. Take it for what it will. He would never be a celebrity without the high production. And that's what I love about this. Everybody is on the same playing field.
We're all stripped down.
It's all about the content now. Let's get into it. We've got two rackets. We've got a Marketeer this week. Obviously, everything is kind of crazy, flipped upside down. You know what the topics are going to be in reference to. Racket number one, homeowners may delay mortgage payments. That's music to a lot of people's ears. I'm sure of that. Nicole, what are your thoughts? Do you think we've learned a lot since the last recession and housing crisis?
I feel like this is totally different. I feel like this is sort of comparing like apples to oranges here. Because this is not necessarily like the real estate market's not crashing. It's again, it's completely different. I do though think that, it is super important to start thinking about that, because I do think that if you're able to give a little bit of a like relinquish to those that, and again, I don't even think it needs to be residential properties, even commercial properties. It'll help these small businesses get a few months off of the payments, because I think that mortgages and rent payments are the biggest part of probably a lot of people's budgets. Where if they're then able, you know, if the landlord or the homeowner is able to then have a few months off, obviously there's going to inevitably be a little bit more money in their pocket to then put back into the economy when we get out of this on the other side. So I think that this is absolutely 100% the way to go. Again, I'm a landlord. I would love to be able to give my tenants, you know, like a month or two off to give them a little bit of reprieve, because I guarantee that if they are paying their mortgage now, I don't know if they're going to be able to pay it in April or June. I think that they may be able to still sort of keep up in April, but I think this is so much more important, in all honesty, my opinion, than mailing out a $1,200 check to families that qualify.
Yeah, and the article we're referencing is directly from Inman. We'll link it up as we always do. And this information's coming from Fannie and Freddie Mac. Now, they may reassess borrowers' ability to pay these loans to ensure the plan is still necessary, right? They don't want to see people taking advantage. But you've also seen other banks jump on this train. Fifth Third Bank, for example, and Bank of America are two other banks that have said they will do either 90-day forbearance periods or some type of mortgage payment deferrals. I haven't heard of anybody doing it in the commercial world, but certainly for homeowners, there are banks that are trying to. And in my eyes, this is the banks learning from the mortgage crisis of 2008. Going through what they did in 2008, foreclosing on everybody's homes, created this multiple year backlog of foreclosures. People were living in homes multiple months without paying, literally because the banks couldn't take them quick enough. So
Right.
give people that are just having an interruption in work as we go through this the ability to press pause and then go back to paying their mortgage as if these 4, 6, 8 weeks almost never happened. Put it on the back end and give them a breath to get through this.
I think that's the most important thing that you're saying there, though, too, is to put it on the back end. Because I do know, during the sort of the mortgage crisis, my husband and I, we did actually put a little bit of a pause, or at least the bank was allowing us to pay a little bit less to catch up. Unfortunately, at the end of the 3-month period, they then wanted that whole lump sum back because we didn't qualify for it. So I do hope that they do sort of the right thing and add it to the end instead of adding these 3 months onto like that 5th month payment, So hopefully they do. Again, hopefully everybody sort of moves in the right direction, and hopefully the government can at least sort of, maybe decide to put the funds sort of in that direction instead of in others. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I would feel lighter. Again, mostly for because I am a landlord. I would love to be able to sort of trickle it on down to my tenants, because I know that they're certainly working much harder to sort of keep their ends met.
Yeah, this tells me the banks have learned a lot and we're not going to make mistakes. By the way, this wasn't created, and you made the point earlier, this was not created by a housing crisis. This potential recession that is happening as we speak was created by something outside of finance, outside of housing. So taking that into consideration, taking what we learned in '08, '09, '10, and '11, and applying those measures to what we can do today to get through this is super important. On the flip side, as a borrower, don't take advantage, right?
Right.
Like if you're an agent, don't take advantage of stimulus money, which it sounds like agents aren't going to get anyways, right? If you don't need it. If you can cut expenses and make some deals work to get through this, get through it without the government assistance. Same thing if you're a borrower or someone who has a mortgage,
Right.
and your job hasn't been interrupted. My wife's cousin, she's a nurse, and her husband is in the military. They're like the two most important jobs right now in our country. They're still going to get paid every single month, right? If you're somebody that's similar to them, that doesn't have work interruption, that's working from home, that's receiving a paycheck, don't go grabbing stimulus money. Don't go grabbing mortgage deferrals if you know you're not going to need it. There are a lot of people that are going to need this. What we don't need is for people to take advantage of the system. Let it remain for those that really need it, those families that need it right now as we go through this.
Or
So
don't defer your payment and then don't pass it on to your tenant.
that's another one, right? That should definitely be legal. All right, not a racket. I'm glad the banks are taking action and learning from our past.
Luckily, they're moving quickly. I mean, what are we? I mean, we're not even 2 weeks into this yet, 10 days.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see that people are, moving things along so that everyone can feel a little bit more secure in an unsecure environment. So it's all good.
Bracket number 2, all of the iBuyers, the big ones, the big names, Zillow Offers, Open Door, and Redfin have pressed the pause button on buying properties through the instant offer iBuying system. I actually was shocked when I first heard this because I said, wow, this is going to be the time that iBuyers really shine. There are people still, we know there are people right now, even as, close to 50% of our country is sheltering in place. There are still buyers and sellers that have a need. There are still people that need to sell their home during this time and want to take that action. So my thoughts were, geez, iBuying is going to crush it because they can go get an instant offer online and get their home sold. But you see how slim of a margin these companies were operating on as we led up to this moment. Redfin, Open Door, they bailed out instantly. That tells me there's a huge capital issue and they didn't want to keep buying during uncertain times. It was very easy for them to be buying when everything was good. Zillow has said they're going to cut expenses 25% and stop all iBuying. It's interesting what Rich Barton, CEO of Zillow, said. He said, we're gonna cut expenses and we're gonna stop iBuying. Our top priority, he says, is ensuring the safety and health of our employees, customers, and partners. Given the concerns for public safety and rapid developments by governments that restrict local real estate activities, we determined it was prudent to pause our home buying and wait to preserve capital. Now, here's the deal. He said a lot there: safety, government, officials,
Keep your
blah,
hands.
blah, blah. And then the very last line was to preserve capital. That's why they're doing it. They're doing it to preserve capital, because one thing Zillow's not doing, and here's a chance for everybody that says, I'm a Zillow kiss ass, to go away and forget about making those ridiculous comments, because I'm about to bury Zillow on something. Zillow is saying they're stopping their iBuying because of safety. Well, they're not stopping taking full price zip codes from people, full price advertising fees on their zip codes this month. They did say in 30 days they're going to cut it by 50%, but these next 30 days is when people need it the most. Okay? So you can't say you're stopping iBuying for safety, but then you're still going to sell leads to your premier agents across the country. How are they going to now go show these leads, all of these homes, if Zillow's so worried about safety? Now, I get it. I don't want to totally bury Zillow, because everybody, Zillow, the US government, little real estate agents, brokerages, everybody's dealing with this as it comes to us, and we have to make rapid, quick decisions. The leaders that make very quick decisions, make lots of them, more than they ever have before, are going to be the leaders that are winning when we come out of this, that are standing tall when we come out of this, and have people lining up to follow them. But if you make decisions that go both ways, you're going to get caught in the middle. And I hope that's not what Zillow's doing right now.
Feel good about that?
I don't know. I mean, you got anything to add, Nicole? Or you got nothing on that?
I feel like you covered it all. I mean, again, I think bottom line is that it's interesting, because I feel like for almost probably from the beginning of when we started the Real Word, everybody, including us, were talking about all of these like disruptors, right? And from the very beginning, you've always talked about like build your brand, build your brand, build your brand. Don't worry about the disruptors. And I think now, more than ever, the C word is more of a disruptor than anything. And again, I think that you can still say to this day that, it's about brand, making sure you're keeping your face out there, making sure that you're a lifeline. Because obviously these others that we thought were disruptors or were going to disrupt the industry are having to sort of, and I hate to use the word because everyone's using it, but they're having to pivot too. So
Meredith from our team sent me, and I shared it on my Instagram at Byron and Nicole, by the way, for anybody that's interested in following me on Instagram. I shared it on my story. Times like this are what entrepreneurs use to create the future. Again, the leaders that make these quick decisions, that pivot very quickly. As Gary Keller said in our last Real Word, we referenced that those that make the dramatic shift right now are going to be able to be the ones that lead the new era, this new decade of how we transact in real estate, and how we market to real estate, how we engage our clients. A lot of things are going to come from this short period of time. I believe we're going to be in this for a short period of time. I'm hopeful. I'm glass half full on this deal, right? Like a couple of months is still a short period of time relative to all of our lives. Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this for those people that continue to work. I'm working in my closet all day. It's starting to smell like a locker room, like back in the day, like a high school boy, like how my bedroom used to smell when I was in high school. It brings me back so many good memories in here.
Sounds horrible. Do you have like cologne too? Are you doing like the cologne spray?
I found my Michael Jordan autograph Lawrence Taylor. I put these up.
Posters. I feel like maybe you need posters behind you.
I'm putting all kinds of stuff up. I'm feeling good about it.
Back there or something?
I actually like it. I got no windows. I feel like I'm in my own little cave. I'm enjoying these moments. And honestly, actually, because we've taken the approach to be proactive, to go on the offense. I've been busier than I've ever been in my entire career. I can't even find time to finish everything I want to do in the day, all the conversations I want to have. If you're an agent right now, you should be talking to more people than you normally do. All the people in your pipeline, all of your past clients, reaching out, hey, how is this impacting you right now? How has your day to day changed? Take an interest in what's important to them. People need a calming voice, a voice that's not going to be as divisive and fear based as some of the media that we're watching, right? Be somebody in their community that can reach out and spread some positivity. That alone will keep you busy for 8 hours a day.
For
There's a lot, right? Like all the projects, all that big to-do list everybody has. Start to knock those out.
You know what would be interesting? I feel like at the end of every day, we should, because you can see your screen time, like how much time you're spending. Like, it would be interesting to like compare now as to like before, like
And I can tell you what, if you're in real estate, your consumers, their screen time is through the roof
through the
on
roof.
things like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the places that you should be marketing to. So now's the time to push out a little bit more content, right?
Well, and I think what's super important too, which what I'm sort of learning too through this process is, as much as I know that we want to like help our small businesses. I know we're sort of going on a different tangent here, but there's so many small businesses though that actually kind of need your help with social media too. So if you are doing social media and you're seeing that they're not doing video right now, or they're going live but like without copy on top, or just some like hints that you can give them. I mean, I think that that's a super way to help them too, just to like reach out, make that connection, say, hey, can I help you? Offer up this advice or whomever. There's plenty of people on Facebook and Instagram right now looking for help or asking a lot of questions. So now is definitely the time to engage, even, on that platform, if you're, afraid to make phone calls. So
that racket got a little rackety, but to sum it up on going back all the way, no, I'm just saying we went all over the place. But
Oh, we
to sum
did.
it
Yeah.
up, back to where we started. iBuyers have pressed pause. That's Zillow offers. That's Redfin. That's Open Door. That's all the big ones. They're not spending their capital. It shows you how low the margins were, and it may create an opportunity for you in your market to start doing instant offers on properties. Because remember, to make an instant offer, you don't have to go view the property. You got to know your numbers. You got to know your marketplace inside and out and what you could be offering. But that could be a product for people in their local communities. All right. Our Marketeer of the week is, and I don't think we've ever done them on a Marketeer, KCM, Keeping Current Matters. They are putting out reassuring marketing in a time that we need it the most. We're going to do the screen share, and I'm going to just pray that it works. And KCM, this graph, we've talked about it in the past. A recession
It's
does
just,
not
well,
equal a housing crisis. Okay. And what they've done here is put the last, and this is a piece that anybody can go grab from KCM. They can go on their Instagram and share this graph and curate this content. So this is not only the Marketeer of the week, but it's a Marketeer that any agent can grab a hold of and start to spread this information into their community. All right. So during the last 5 recessions, 1980, 81, 91, 2001, and 2008, 3 of the last 5 home prices actually appreciated. All right, that's 80, 81, 2001. Now we know they dropped big in 2008, 19.7%, but remember that recession was brought upon by a mortgage crisis. That was housing that brought us down in 2008. 2001, 81, 80, we went up, and 91, we basically stayed flat. We went down 2%. I believe during this particular situation that we're dealing with, we're going to see home prices stay where they are till we come out of it. There are a lot of sellers that are like, you know what? And listen, KCM, Steve Harney, they said it on a Tom Ferry live cast last week. More homeowners today have equity in their homes than ever before. Almost 1 out of 2 homeowners, either own their home outright or have over 50% equity. So people that are selling their home, it's not like 2008 where they're chasing the market and they're over leveraged and they have to get out of this deal. Sellers can right now withdraw their property from the market if they so choose, press pause till we get through this, and come back at their price. Or because I believe there's going to be so much demand, they may even be able to raise their price when they come out of this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
KCM, Keeping Current Matters, will link them up. If you go through their Instagram, on their stories, in their timeline, you're going to see a lot of reassuring, fact-based content that you can share with your sellers or everybody that's following you. Hats off to KCM. Just putting out the facts. I like facts. I like to know what's happened in the past so that we can not live in fear as we move into the future. All right. That's it.
Look at it.
I feel good about that. If you see somebody doing something creative in your market, certainly let us know in the comments, and we'd love to highlight them here.
Maybe like my husband and I's lacrosse videos will pop up next time.
Yes. Lacrosse Marketeer of the Week.
Gotta.
If you're on TikTok, go check it out. If you're into lacrosse, White House Lax, LAX is the handle. They're giving out some good lacrosse tips. All right, guys, keep it real. We're going to get through this together. Work with your clients, work with your community to make sure that you're leading the charge, pushing through this new world. Yes, do that constantly. Be well, be healthy. Thank you, guys.